Hello and welcome to Abby's Coaching House, your home of transformation. It's always a pleasure having you here. My name is Coach Blessed Abby. Today is Friday. Are you excited about the weekend ahead? I'm excited. I always see my children looking forward to Friday because they don't want to go to school the following day. They want to sleep some extra, and that's interesting. They say that this weekend we are going to play a game, so I'm looking forward to playing the game. And so it's exciting to just get into the weekend. We have been on this 21 days transformation challenge. We are calling it 21 days of reorganizing our lives challenge. So if you're new here, that is what this video is all about. Today is day 9. We are focusing on our thoughts. What has been the most dominant thought on your mind today? What did you think about most? Because that is what we are doing, just examining our thoughts, seeing which thought occupies our mind the most. Were your thoughts moving more towards what you want or what you do not want? Were they empowering? Did they disempower you? How did you feel thinking every thought that you thought today? You may have realized that each thought that you had led to a certain emotion. And you can also realize a pattern that you have this particular thought and that thought leads to a particular emotion. And so today we are talking about emotions. How do we manage our emotions? That is our point of focus for day 10 tomorrow. How do we manage our emotions? We said yesterday that what we focus on grows. And I see somebody writing in the comment section that sometimes it's hard to focus on what you want. And yes, sometimes it's really difficult. And he says the chain holding us to our past really debilitates. Sometimes it's not easy. It's something we have to do and continue to work on it consciously. I say that when this thought comes to you, you just talk to it and say, I'm not going that direction right now. I'm changing to another direction. And by, the unconscious becomes conscious. It becomes easier for you to choose the route that you want your thoughts to go towards. And so that is what this is all about. Look at what the challenge and what we are focusing on in the morning and in the evening. In the morning, we are challenging ourselves to wake up and think thoughts of gratitude. The same things we are doing when we are sleeping in the evening. Why? It's because we want to be in control of our thoughts. The very first thought you think in the morning is so important at setting your pace for the day. Then let's talk about emotions. What emotions are you experiencing? Are they happy emotions? Are they sad emotions? Are you feeling happy, joyful, at bliss, encouraged? Or are you feeling discouraged, fearful, sad, anxious? What emotions are you experiencing? Remember, we have said that our emotions are rooted in our thoughts. In our day 10 tomorrow, I want us to focus on our emotions. Your most dominant emotion. Where are you dwelling? Are you mad? Are you angry? If it's anger, we have talked about anger. We have seen that anger can be dangerous. It can throw you into prison. But then again, we say that our emotions are our friends. They're supposed to warn us when our boundaries are being violated. They're supposed to make us feel that something is not right. But when we allow them to go too far, that is when they become our enemies. Are you feeling feelings of guilt? Are you feeling shameful? Are you feeling depressed? Ask yourself, what has led you there? Which thoughts have you been entertaining? Remember, you're the only person that can think in your mind. No one else can. Only you can choose the thoughts that you think. You can quickly turn yourself off from a certain thought and say, I'm not going to think that anymore. And that is why we are doing affirmations. when this thought comes to you and leads to this defeating emotion. For example, there is a task you are supposed to undertake and you're feeling so afraid. Affirmations will really help you when you just tell this thought and this emotion, I am enough, I can do this. And when I did the anger video, I remember sharing how I deal with my emotions. I like to take my pen and my notebook and write down and ask, for example, anger, thank you for what you're telling me, but what exactly are you saying? I ask fear, what exactly are you saying? Is it the fear of people, what people are going to say? Is it the fear of being seen? If it's the fear of people, ask yourself, are they really even noticing what I'm doing? Because sometimes we are so afraid of what people will say, what people will do, what they will think, while no one is even noticing. People are so busy doing their own things. Is it shame? What is making you feel ashamed? Is it anxiety? What exactly are you anxious about? There are many techniques of dealing with emotions. For example, when dealing with anxiety, breathing in and out, deep breathing. Remember, we are again doing that in the morning. Deep breathing is so helpful to regulate yourself when you're dealing with anxiety. When you're dealing with anger, we have talked about anger. We have said you can go for a walk, you can, sing a song, just do something that shifts your attention from that emotion. But it really helps you to come back and ask yourself, why am I feeling what I'm feeling? Examine the patterns. Examine why, when, and where you feel a certain emotion. And examine people you spend time with. Are you spending time with people who help you to feel empowered and feel good? Or are you spending time with people who make you feel down, feel depressed? That is something so important because your company will really determine how far you go in life. So ask yourself, where are these emotions coming from? Are they learned? For example, if it's worrying, why are you worried about what you're worrying about? Worrying is a learned emotion. When you're a young baby, does a young baby worry about anything? They always have faith that things are going to work out. So where did you learn the worrying from? Is it somebody who belittled you when you are young and you still see them wherever you go? Even as an older person, you have this mama shouting at you and saying, don't do that, don't do that. And that makes you afraid of moving into greater heights. Sometimes it's the fear of being seen. I really had that. It took me a long time to even start this YouTube channel because I just didn't want to be seen. I was always comfortable being a backbencher. So now coming to the forefront was not something I was used to. So these are things that are subconsciously planted in us over a long period of time. It will take some work to reprogram ourselves and become the people who we want to be, but then we better get started. Self-awareness is powerful. By doing this, examining our thoughts, examining our emotions, we are becoming self-aware. Once you are aware that this thought leads to this emotion, then you can get hold of yourself at that thought level and stop yourself from getting into a defeating emotion. Remember, we have said it starts with a thought, that leads to an emotion, and that emotion leads into an action. So, for example, if it's fear, you sit down and think, I'm not enough, I can't do this is too hard. And you convince yourself that it's really too hard, and then fear takes over. And maybe there's this assignment that you needed to go and do, and you give up and don't do. The question is, would you be proud of yourself if you gave up on what you are going to do? If it's shame, you sit down and convince yourself that you're the worst person on earth, everybody hates you, and then you begin to feel worthless. Sometimes that leads to people committing suicide. I don't think suicide is a solution. It has never been a solution. So let's examine our emotions. Take track of your emotions. Ask yourself, why am I always angry in the morning? Why am I always sad at this particular time of the day? Remember, our brains get used to a pattern. If you're always frustrated at a traffic jam at a particular time, even if you don't go to work and you are somewhere else, your mind will look for something to make you feel frustrated because you're already used to that. Your mind knows that at 8 a.m. every day, I must get frustrated. And so you will just find something to frustrate you, even where it didn't exist. So let's take control of our emotions. The highest intelligence we can ever have is emotional intelligence. That has become so clear in the world today that if we are able to manage our emotions, then we are able to manage the pressures of this world. So as we continue with this challenge, as we are doing everything else that we are doing, please, again, if you're new here, look at the previous videos to see what we've been doing. I will also link a list of the actions we are taking in the morning and in the evening. Please check it out in the description box. There is a list of affirmations. Affirmations are powerful when you're feeling defeating emotions. I had a statement this morning that sadness and laughter cannot exist in the same room together. So if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling unhappy, look for opportunities to laugh. Find a comedy, watch a comedy and laugh. Stick out with friends who make you laugh, and you will find yourself being more happier because happiness is what we all want and we must work towards it. Do not allow yourself to sink into defeating emotion. That is not a good ocean to swim in. We all want to be happy. So thank you so much for watching this, and thank you for staying put in this challenge. Let's keep going. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. Please join us in this journey. You will love it as we go on. Leave us that thumbs up. Share this video to someone else who may need it. Let's work together to bring transformation in the world. Thank you so much for watching. See you again in day 11. Bye.